All right, dividing fractions is really the same as multiplying by fractions. So let me skip down here and start with this idea. If I have 15 things and I want to divide them into 3 groups, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to get 5 in each group. So how many am I going to get in each group? 5. Another way to look at the same thing is I want a third of, and we know that of changes to a multiplication sign when we have fractions. So 1/3 of 15, 2, 3, is 5. It's the same answer. So the beauty of division when it comes to fractions is that all we have to do is figure out how to flip over the second number. We'll keep the first, whatever it is. We'll change that sign from a division to a multiplication, and then we'll flip that last one. Let's see how it works. So when we flip and we take a fraction, we're going to find the reciprocal of that fraction, and that just means to invert it. So if you look here, a on top and b on the bottom, we flip those two around, the numerator and the denominator, and we get the reciprocal. So let's put it into practice. So if I'm dividing something by 2, into 2 parts, I'm actually multiplying it by 1/2. It kind of makes logical sense. So let's look down here. The reciprocal of the following, 2/3, simply flip it, 3/2. 5 is a little bit tricky, but we have to remember that 5 equals 5/1. So the reciprocal would be 1/5. For this one, we have a mixed number. We have to turn that into an improper fraction. So that would be 10/7. So therefore, the reciprocal would be 7/10. So it really is just flipping. And remember, we do this with the second of the 2 fractions. We keep the first one, we make that change, and then we make the reciprocal of the last one. So how do we divide 5/8 by 3? I'm going to keep the 5/8. I'm going to make the swap change-o. Remembering that 3 is actually 3/1, I'm going to change that to 1/3. Now we've got multiplication. Don't see any canceling we can do. So 5, because 5 times 1 is 5. 8 times 3 is 24. And there's no way to reduce that further, so hashtag winning. Here we've got ourselves a mixed number, and we need to change that before we start fooling around. 11 times 2 is 22, plus 3 is 25/11. And I multiply that by the reciprocal, so I have kept the first one, made it into improper, changed that sign, and I'm going to do a flippy-doo-dah. Look what's happened here. 5 goes into 5 once, and into 25, 5. So 5 times 1 is 5, and 11 times 1 is 11. Can't reduce them any further. We've got it. We've done it. So now going the other way. Remember, we're going to keep the first thing, change to the multiple, and then flip, which is the reciprocal on the second one. So 6 is really 6/1, so we'll keep 6/1. I'm going to make my change here, and I'm going to do the reciprocal over here. So 6 divided by 1/3 is actually 6 times 3 is 18. 1 times 1 is 1, is 18. So similarly over here, I'm going to keep this the same and make it 24/1. I'm going to change that division to multiplication, and then I'm going to flip 4/3. Is that right? Let's see, can I cancel out here? 3 into 3 goes 1. 3 into 24, off the top of my head, is, what is it? 8. So we know it's going to be a 1 on the bottom. It's going to be a whole number. 8 times 4 is 32. Hashtag winning. And now we've got 2 fractions. Keep 3/5, change this to multiplication, and flippy-doo-dah. Look at this, cancel city. We get 8/5, which is an improper fraction and is correct, and it also can be expressed as a mixed number, 1 3/5. Now we definitely have to work out these mixed numbers. So 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is, we've got 12/5. I'll keep that as an improper fraction. I'm going to change my division to multiplication. And now I've got another mixed number. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. Oh, I was nearly going to write that. That would be that without flipping it. I've got to flip 5 on top of 8. And look again, cancel city. Can I cancel these guys? Oh, I have a common factor. Let's see, divide by 4, we get 2, then we get 3, then we get, oops, equals 3/2, sorry, 3/2. Or we can call that 1 1/2. Joy. Fun times.